the Minot case in Dakota. Talk me through what happened, what you discovered happened.
At Minot, the most dramatic incident, and perhaps at any base, as a matter of fact, was a conversation I had with a man named David Schur, Schur, who was a Minuteman nuclear missile launch officer in the 1960s. What he said was one night in 1966 or perhaps 67, his guards up at ground level, he was underground, of course, in the launch control capsule. His guards at ground level called down to the capsule and suddenly reported an object moving from missile to missile. And it clearly was a self-illuminated object. It was moving in an erratic manner that no aircraft could match. And, it was clearly something significant. Almost immediately, according to Captain Shore, he told me that the launch activation lights on his console lit up. In other words, as this object hovered over a given missile, that missile suddenly went into launch countdown, which of course is terrifying. I mean, had it gone to its conclusion, it could have been World War III. And so one by one, he thinks it was 7 or 8 missiles. He had to flip what's called an inhibit switch to, in effect, neutralize this launch countdown. What he heard over a secure communication system that linked all the capsules together. There were, I think, 15 launch control capsules at the base, controlling 150 missiles total. What he was hearing is this object moved between his group of 10 missiles to the next group, to the next group, to the next group. And over the space of about an hour, virtually every group of missiles, called a flight of 10 missiles, was visited by this object. Shore could not remember in 2007 whether other men were reporting, other launch officers were reporting that their missiles had been activated, but he knew his were. And when he went to the base the next day, it was the end of his shift, and he was preparing to be debriefed, he and his commander. The squadron commander said to them, "Nothing happened, nothing to discuss, go home." Now, what Shore suspects is that other crews had arrived at the base earlier than he and his commander, and they were debriefed rather. And so people on the base already knew what had occurred. They didn't need to hear it again and again from various crews that arrived back at the base. But obviously, tremendously important incident.